Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Dragoon. We have just defeated Lloyd, but Wink stepped in at the last minute and saved his life. Maybe now he'll finally reconsider. He's shown that he's been hesitant at least a little bit around her, so maybe we can talk him into something decent for once. So it looks like we're having a little bit of a negotiation here, trying to figure out just what exactly we're going to do with Lloyd and how we're going to handle these Divine Moon objects. Looks like everyone trusts Dart to do the right thing, though. Couldn't fit all those people in that room anyway. Oh, Shauna was taken away by the man named Emperor Diaz. Told us to bring the 3 Divine Moon objects and Lloyd and come to Velweb. So yeah, he's been the one that Lloyd's been working for this whole time. Finally, he's begun to take action by himself. And now that he's learned that, he just hands over the Divine Moon object. Even without me, my utopia will be built by Emperor Diaz. It's one of those things where it's amazing because Lloyd ends up kind of not being the total honorless dirtbag you thought he was at the beginning, you know? But Dart decides it's not worth it in the end. So Dart decides that in the end, his death doesn't really change anything. It's not worth it. Might as well make him see it through to the end. So you finally at least get to see Lloyd as a little bit human. Even though he is a wingly, I guess. But, you know, he realizes he has to settle up for what he's done so far and all that, so... I don't know, maybe he was just being used by this Emperor Diaz guy all along, huh? Yeah, our more immediate problem is that Shauna was taken, and we have to take the Divine Moon objects in Lloyd and go meet this Emperor Diaz in Velweb. And Teresa's come around and realized that pretty much we need to do some stuff here. No time to be holding country secrets at this point. Maybe we were in denial, surrounding ourselves with a comfortable life that really was stagnant. Everything is forcing us to remember it. I will take Shauna back, even from fate. There you go. That's the spirit. It's kind of weird to just see Lloyd standing here with us. We're not facing him. We're not trying to kill him or anything. He's just kind of standing around talking. Yes, you just did. No, Lloyd, not... I had no reason for doing that. Yeah, sure you didn't. So we get the Moon Mirror, the Moon Dagger, and the Moon Gem. And we're ready to go. However, before we leave, We're going to backtrack all the way back up here. I know it's a little bit of a walk, but it's really not too bad. It's only a couple screens, and this one's basically just all teleporters. Alright, so let's head down here. Let's head here. And this will take us back to the area where we fought Lloyd. So we're going to take the other teleporter here. And there's going to be a treasure chest. Uh-oh! There's a dude. Magician Faust. My name is Faust, the commander of the super mobile Fort Flanville. Below is the land of taboo. Nobody's allowed to pass through. Like to stay alive, go away at once. What is that? I think I'd rather just take this and leave. So, we're not going to deal with that guy for right now. We'll come back to him later. He's just going to keep telling us that we can't pass, so let's get out of here. But most importantly, as you saw, we picked up a therapy ring from that chest. And that therapy ring, you can tell just how powerful the therapy ring we got way early on ended up being. So, we're definitely going to get some good use out of that. So now that's all we need to get from here. And let's head back. And this time we'll head back to our capital of Velweb. Alright, so we're back here at the entrance. Let's leave. This will take us back to the glacier. And now we have to take that other path, that other fork that we passed a pretty long time ago, actually. And that will lead us in the correct direction. While we're here, let's go ahead and take a look at Dart's Moonstrike. As you can see, it starts out, it's his second to last edition, which means we can actually get his final edition. I will be doing that at some point, but as you can see, there's a lot of grinding to do. I've got to get all of these up to level 5, so that might take a little bit. We're going to stick with Moonstrike for now, though. As you can see, it starts at 200 damage, which is already really good. Only barely outclassed by Crush Dance and Volcano for some reason at this point. So we'll just stick with that, and we will also show off Meru's Cool Boogie, even though I'm not going to be using it in the long haul. Let's go ahead and just show what it looks like. Okay, so we've made it back to the screen where the fork was. If you remember, this sign is going to tell us if I can read it. Right was to the Tower of Flanville, up to the snowfield, also where the warning slide was. So we need to be heading up this time. And escape the battles, alright. That would have been annoying to have to just fight one more battle before we got out. So notice we've now transitioned into the other area of Milciso. This is just called Gloriano. And nope, can't quite make it there. One field battle. And unfortunately, they are still pulling from the same encounter pool that Cashua Glacier had. I've fought so many mammoths now, I don't know what to do with them. Alright, so Snowfield is our destination, and well, it lives up to its name. This is definitely a very snowy field. Also, lots of battles, apparently. So let's see if there's anything new here, or if we're going to be cutting this out. Well, what do you know? New things. I kind of like this thing, too. It looks kind of funny. This is the Bowling. Very strange name for an enemy. I'm not sure where bowling comes into this, but we'll go with it. And a Windy Weasel. That's also a good name. So, I don't know. Let's just attack one. Doesn't really matter at this point. And we should get a chance to see Dart's Moonstrike here at some point. Let's go ahead and just have Albert finish this one off, because he could probably one-shot it, I'm guessing. As usual, yep. He's still incredibly overpowered even after all this time. Alright, Dart's up, so let's see if we can get Moonstrike to go. This is a pretty difficult edition, and some of the counter timings you have to be pretty quick to react to, so we'll see how it goes. I anticipated a counter and there was none. That spot right there, that one's actually really hard, at least for me, because you're hovering over the X getting ready to hit the button, but then like just at the last second you gotta switch to circle if they counterattack. So sometimes I find myself anticipating a counterattack when there is none, and That leaves me missing an attack like that and looking dumb. Oh, well, could you not have done it when we were in at least the semi-warm area and there's not a blizzard out? With the blizzard, it's not a bad time to take a break. It's always a good time to take a break, if you ask me. Also, I like how we leave footsteps, but Lloyd does not. I wonder if he's just lighter on his feet. I guess being an agile wingly, maybe he is. So Diaz said to make the world regenerate. Regeneration of the world. Looks like we're getting a flashback. Oh man, Cadessa 3 years ago. Apparently that's when all this started. Melbu Frama, the Wingly Dictator. That's a name we haven't heard in a little while. A world where inertia is considered to be peace and the easy path leads to devolution. The overture to the destruction has already begun. So this is still at the point where Lloyd doesn't really know what's going on. He just kind of knows he's a Wingly and doesn't have quite the magic power that he used to have. This is what Lloyd told us back when we fought him. The last species is the last god which will regenerate the world and lead us to utopia. I swear, if somebody recounts this 108 years thing one more time, I am just going to completely lose it. Yes, we know. The Moonchild, holy blessing to the world. Yes, we get it. This is like the 20th time people have said that. So he says the Moonchild of this legend is the last species. It's the god that gives holy bliss to the world. And that's where the number 108 comes into play. He was also the 108th fruit of the tree. However, Rose seems to know better, apparently. So he seems to have some sort of inkling. He kind of knew the Black Monster and the Moonchild were related. Like I said before, it's not like that could have been totally incorrect. Well, it looks like the Black Monster has been just repeatedly killing the Moonchild in fear of the regeneration, apparently. At least that's what Lloyd says. So it looks like that was the plan. Makes sense when you think about it. You know, some big divine magical objects kind of breaking a seal. It's not like it's the first time that kind of thing would have ever happened. Yeah, Shauna's role in all of this is still kind of a mystery. Obviously some weird things have happened to her, so she's got to be important in some way. But it looks like we'll have to actually speak with Diaz and Velweb in order to find all that out for sure. Maybe we can finally get an answer as to what's been going on, right? Alright, the blizzard's over. I believe also that little rest in the cave has healed us. Yeah, it looks like it. Everyone's back up to full HP and MP, so also anytime you need, you can stop back at that cave for some healing. Oh man, another new guy here. This one's definitely interesting as well. Whoop. Yeah, I imagine that'd be a pretty good attack, just like swinging giant boulders around. So this time we have the Wild Man. He is definitely a wild man, I'll give you that. Some kind of like ogre dude in a loincloth with a unicorn horn, and also only one eye. So take a whole bunch of legends and just mix them together, and that's what you get here. Alright, let's see if I can actually get this going with Dart this time.
Gus! Gus! Gus!
There it is, that's Moonstrike. I like its animation, the fact that you just like stick the sword at him in the end is pretty cool. And Albert, as usual, taking care of business. So, as is still the case, random battles are nothing to worry about. It's pretty much the case throughout this whole game, which honestly is probably fine. Though I sometimes wish they just didn't take up so much time if they were going to be so, like, completely absent of danger. So, I don't know. Alright, so as we move on, we've got a couple different ways to go here. If we can read this sign. Danger ahead, snow slide. So this is the warning slide. It turns out it was actually a warning for a slide. We can actually go down this two different ways. There's a couple of things you can get here, some of which may be marginally valuable. I'm going to go down this ones and get the one thing that may be used, but probably won't. We're going to head down, actually, this side of the slide, and there's going to be a series of button prompts. We're going to hit the first one, I think the second one, and then skip the third, then hit the fourth. Nope, I was totally wrong. Also, we can hit one on the way down in order to land without falling on our butts. If you don't hit anything there, he'll totally just fall and land on his butt. It's pretty great. Ancient characters of the Winglies, huh? Winglies, ouch, moss. I don't think that's quite right. Can you do better than that? Come on. There's some human characters, too. So it looks like all kinds of species. I was bad at classics. Yeah, my bad. I don't know how to read old stuff. So let's leave it to Rose, because obviously she's gonna know. The cursed land where the decline of the Winglies began. Nobody is allowed to touch the door. The Judge Nomos of the Court Xenobatos. One of the most prosperous cities of the ancient Winglies. So that over there should be Fort Magred. Magred, Magrod, I don't know. Either or. The Velweb is up there. Let's go back quickly. Okay, let's go back. Only because I want to get that one treasure chest. Apparently I misremembered the correct sequence of button inputs. I don't know how you would know which ones to hit other than just basically trial and error. There are some chests along the way. Most of them I won't be able to get because I don't have any item room, so I'll be skipping by most of them. Alright, continue on up. Here's one of the chests we can get. Can't carry any more items. Figured as much. Probably just attack items and stuff. You know, obviously, there's nothing really too valuable here as far as I remember. Alright, new set of enemies. Got our old skeleton friends from the ghost ship are back, pretty much. They're kind of the same. Mr. Bone. Hello there, Mr. Bone. I guess you're all Mr. Bone. Maybe you're related. It's the Bone family. And they also have the cool animation of, like, breaking apart and then reforming every time they get hit. That's always really good. Same stuff, bone throwing. I mean, literally, they're pretty much the same enemies as they were back on the ghost ship. Though obviously they are stronger, of course. If they were still the same like level as they were back then, it'd be sort of a pushover. Those bone throwings can add up over time though, so don't relax too much. If they're going to counterattack, I would prefer them to do it on that hit rather than the one after it. Those are the only two places they can counter as far as I know. Alright, there's two down, and then the next time Albert's up. Also, I need to remember to remove that talisman from him. Actually, I think we're going to keep it on him because I'm going to need it for another fight here in just a second. So there's no point in going back and switching it, just if I'm going to put it back on in a second anyway. There we go. Like I said, I think that one's really hard to get just because of the reaction time involved, and you still need to time the button press correctly. So I ended up missing it sometimes, but it's usually not too bad once you get used to it. Alright, we're about back up at the top. So we go out this little hole here, and in case you were wondering how you got to this little opening, well, that's how you do it. Alright, so let's jump down the slide again. It wasn't the first, second, and fourth. I think it's the first, third, and fourth, so let's try that. So we hit the first, skip the second, hit the third, hit the fourth. Nope. Totally wrong again. Alright, I may just look this up. I'm not going to get it this time. Oh, I just hit that in time. I'll get it once we go back up. I do want to check out this fort, though. It's not like it's super important. Like I said, I wasn't going to use it immediately anyway. So the next time we go back up the slope, I'll grab it on the way. Oh. Meru, what are you doing? Yeah. So we don't have to go here. This place is totally optional, by the way. You don't ever need to come here. I also really like this, like, but look at Meru. Let's give her a little break. Like, she's our puppy. Like, you know, we're out on the beach. Like, I thought we weren't going to go to the beach, but look at him. He's having such a good time. Whoop. Oh, good shot, actually. He just does a little shrug. Said, is Fort McGraw, is this one of the Wingley's ruins too? No, this belonged to humans, apparently. Don't find too many of those. You find a lot of ancient Wingley structures, but this looks like it was an old human fort in the war. I thought she just, like, ends all these things with, you know, I heard about it anyway. Alright, so let's check out the fort. There's only really one thing to do here. It's not like there's anything important. And like I said, this place is completely optional. If you don't want to come here, you don't ever have to. But I'm kind of here just for one little reward. Alright, let's see what's in here. Probably can't pick it up. Yep, lots of items. If I remember correctly, there are a couple of attack items here. So, you know, if you need some attack items, pick them up. Otherwise, if you're situated, don't worry about it. Dragoons are descending here in this place again. So, of course, Rose has some history. We get a little bit of a flashback, it seems. Looks like Diaz is giving some kind of a motivational speech here. So he's rallying the Liberation Army for the Dragoon campaign, I guess. So yeah, it's kind of cool, like, you know, the further you go on, you get, whoop, didn't mean to leave there. The further you get into sort of these ancient territories, you know, kind of the more Rose has direct flashbacks of this kind of stuff. So it just keeps getting more and more interesting with her now that she's being, you know, she's still being cryptic about it, but at least we can kind of tell what's going on this time. Alright, and a save point, which we might as well make use of. Can't carry any more items, of course. Nothing's changed in that regard. Alright, so before we head on up here, it's worth mentioning that you probably want to equip somebody with a talisman for a battle coming up. We still have ours on Albert. He never took it off, so we're going to leave it on him. I would also recommend putting it on your, like, most physically capable character. Whoever can deal the most damage, pretty much. And there's a reason for that, which we'll get into once we actually see where it will come in handy. It's another flashback with Zieg there, obviously. She and Zieg, you know, heard a little bit about it before. She's had some flashbacks with him in it, but sometimes I don't know if you're really the Rose I know. Whoop. Because the Dragoons made an appearance. Of course, it's always the Dragoons. Seems the souls of the soldiers who died in the Dragon campaign have awoken. And we've got to fight. So this is a completely optional boss, as I said before. You don't need to come here and do this, but I would recommend it. The rewards are well worth it, so we're going to be taking care of it. Alright, so we've got the Poltergeist here. This is going to have a few different parts. There's the helm, there's the armor, there's the sword. Each of these parts is going to do a different thing. The armor is usually my first target. This is kind of debatable, but the armor is the one that's going to do basically all of the damage coming from this thing. The sword can do a little bit of damage, but the armor is going to be doing a bunch of powerful magic spells. So I recommend taking that thing out first, if it's me. The sword can do some regular attacks, but also as long as the sword is alive, it will do an instant death counterattack to the person that defeats another part of the armor. So say for example, Albert deals the finishing blow to the armor, the sword will do an instant death attack on Albert on its next turn. So that's why we have the talisman equipped on him, so we can safely have him finish off a part of the armor and then not have to worry about the repercussions. The helm basically only has one function in this battle. It will do what are called blocking effects, so it'll keep you from attacking, it'll keep you from using items, it'll keep you from transforming, etc. It'll basically just block one of your commands. Like I said though, I recommend focusing on the armor. I also recommend using a speed down on it in order to keep it from using as few spells as possible. So we're going to go ahead and throw that out there. And then we're going to be focusing on the armor, and we're going to try to make sure that Albert gets the final blow as best we can. Otherwise, you know, it's no big deal. If you've got some of those angel prayers to revive people, you can just use that to bring them back, but I'd prefer not to have to.
Blossom Storm!
Oh, it looks like this is a night raid. I'd love this attack, even if it is being used against us. It's funny, we just saw that not too long ago. Okay, well. It's a good thing we saved, I guess. Wow. Wasn't quite expecting that. Oh, that's really good. Okay, well, there's the game over screen. Wow. I am at a loss. Okay, well, thankfully we just saved, so let's try that again. Alright, so lesson learned, always have at least one person guarding so they can stay alive in case of night raid. I've fought this guy a couple of times and I have never once seen him do that. I don't think it would have instant killed us if Dart and Albert had been fully healed up, because I don't think it did over 2,000, so, you know, whatever part of it you want to ascribe to my being lazy on healing, feel free. I think I am just going to Healing Breeze first, because I'm pretty sure we would have survived that night raid had we had been at full health, so that's fine. We'll just heal up first. We'll take a little bit to make sure we don't die instantly. Alright, so this time he's doing more of what he usually does, not ultra powerful spells. Still pretty powerful though. It's going to do a fair amount of damage, but that's way more manageable than like 1800 on everybody. So this also may be a case where it might be a good idea to put a Rose Storm up. So I think I am going to actually do that, at least while the armor is still alive, and Albert can still do some decent damage while he's in Dragoon form as well. So we're going to take a couple turns for preparation, just so that kind of thing doesn't happen again. Alright, no more one-shotting for you, mister. So there's the sword's attack. It's very minor, don't even need to worry about it at all. Basically, the only reason it's there and causes any danger at all is because it does that instant death counterattack I mentioned before. So I will still do the speed down, because I would still like it to have as few turns as possible. And then I might actually just have Dart guard if it's his turn. I might have him just use a healing fog on himself. So I know we still haven't done any damage yet, but we will after this turn. We'll have some free time, so. My mistake is probably not healing before I came into the battle. That would have saved a little bit of time. 37, oh no, whatever shall I do? Alright, let's get this show on the road, finally. Some attack items may not be a bad idea, actually. Let's see what we can throw out here. I don't remember... they're non-elemental, I believe that is, so it won't make a difference. Flash Haul, powerful all attack. I don't know that I've ever actually seen this. Spectral Flash is pretty good, but I may save that. Let's see what Flash Haul does. Not too much, but not too bad either, I guess. It's better than Meru would have been able to do by herself. Alright, so this is where the Helm's going to come into play. He's going to block somebody's commands. He's going to be on Dart, and he's going to block Attack. Oh, perfect. Fantastic. Alright, so we may just use Dragoon stuff. It doesn't block Dragoon attacks or Dragoon magic, so that may be our workaround for that. So let's go ahead again. I'm going to be attacking the armor first, so we'll make sure to do that. I didn't get the 5th one. I'm still not very good at that. I can get it sometimes, but not all the time. Alright, let's go ahead and just use that other light attack, and then after this we can stop attacking all, because again, I don't want Meru to kill all of the parts. That would leave her dead in the end and with no experience. This is kind of a cool attack. Yeah, so there you go. Those light attacks tend to be more powerful than the elemental versions. So can't attack, that's what happens if you try. We'll just switch into Dragoon form and have Dart attack that way, because he's still just as good as a Dragoon. And for once, we're finally in a boss battle where there's no penalty for being in Dragoon form. Oh man. Remember how I said I wasn't very good at those? That's pretty bad, though. Alright, so I'm pretty sure this is that Dark Rain spell, an all-hitting dark spell. It did some pretty decent damage to Meru. She's going to take a little bit more here, but she'll still be alright. I will have her guard, though, in order to protect herself. Nope. Okay, well now she doesn't really even have to guard, so let's just go for it. This battle, it can be a little bit hectic, at least until you take out the armor. Once you take out the armor and its powerful magic is gone, then you really don't have to worry too much, because the sword doesn't do hardly any damage at all. Nope, too early, I think. There we go, finally got one. Alright, so the armor is getting down there a little bit. It's going to be in the red soon. And again, that's kind of the point where the battle is basically won. Because like I said, the other parts can't really do anything to you by themselves. Alright, so let's see who's going to get blocked this time. I think this does actually take off the block from Dart if it gets on someone else. But I'm not entirely sure. Alright, well, she can't turn into a Dragoon, which kind of sucks. That leaves us out of her healing magic, but, you know, we could still use healing items, so it's not a huge deal. Alright, it's in the red, so Albert should be able to finish it off soon. Basically, the next target after the armor is going to be the sword, because the helmet by itself cannot do any damage. All it can do is block your commands, so you're free to just attack it, you know, as much as you want. I think it's safe to attack with Meru here. I don't think she has enough to finish it off. Alright, so at this point, I think we're going to stop attacking the armor with everybody except Albert. Because I do want to make sure he finishes it off. Alright, well, we're doing a night raid here, so let's hope we can survive it this time. Meru is definitely dead. I think even if she was at full health, she'd be dead. But the others should have increased magic defense due to being in Dragoon form, so they should at least survive. Yeah, like I said, Meru's down. Alright, we can finish off the armor soon. That would really go a long way towards helping us finish this. Alright, that's it. So now the sword is going to get to do a counterattack, and it's going to be an instant death attack like I said, but since Albert is protected with the talisman, he's not going to fall for it. Wait, that's Dart. Dart didn't finish it off. I've never seen that happen before. I have never, ever seen that happen before. He always counterattacks the one that killed it. Huh. Well, I guess you learn something new every day, huh? So we're kind of just stuck with Albert for the moment until he can get out of Dragoon form and start reviving some people. But the good news is the armor is done, so, you know, it's not like there's anything that's going to be able to do any damage to us at this point. So he blocked the Dragoon command, but we're already in Dragoon form, so it's kind of pointless. I guess we'll just attack the sword in the meantime. So this has ended up being kind of annoying. Again, I've never seen the sword counterattack somebody that didn't kill it. So that's a new one on me, but we'll survive it at least. Actually, I kind of want to kill the sword without anybody else alive, because then we'll have to use the counterattack on Albert and he's protected. Although he is rather slow, so maybe that's not the best idea. And attack him again, why not? Albert, there you go, buddy. Finally, you can have a turn. Alright, so we're going to have to finally use one of our Angel's Prayers. I don't think we've ever used one of these yet. So we'll stick it with Dart first, because he'll survive some hits. And then whenever the next person's up, we'll go ahead and revive Meru. We've got 5 of these things, so it's not like it's a huge deal. And a lot of merchants sell them, so. Alright, Angel's Prayer on Meru. And then on the next person who's up, we can use a Healing Breeze, and that will probably do it for the rest of the battle. So as you can see, it can be kind of an annoying battle depending on what the armor decides to do. But that's kind of why I make it my first priority. I don't really... Like, the instant death I can deal with. It's just one item if it doesn't hit the person with the talisman. So, you know, the command blocking is really no problem when you've got 3 people. Though that does hurt quite a bit. That's going to take our damage down a fair amount. But it'll go away eventually. I think you can actually Mind Purify that. So I may do that, because his attack is pretty valuable, actually. So let's see, I think, let me take a look. B, C, F, D. B is blocking, I think. So that may do it. Let's give it a try. Actually, no, B is Bewitchment, now that I think about it. So, nope, that didn't do anything. So, I don't know, Albert, I guess you can just guard for the time being. It'll wear off eventually. Alright, let's get it to attacking this sword then.
Hammer spin. Hammer spin.
Yes. Gosh.
Whoops. Messed up there.
Hammer spin.
Oh, actually, I should have just read the descriptions. Body purifiers will cure action blocking, so whoops. Oh well. Wasted a Mind Purifier, but that's fine. I need to get Albert's attack back desperately because this is taking too long.
spin.
Moon strike. Blossom storm.
Okay, so that should be the last hit to finish off the sword. It looks like it is. And I think he is doing the counter on the... He's doing it on Dart! Oh my gosh. I don't know why he's doing that, but apparently Dart is now going to be dead at the end of the battle, which means he will not receive experience. It's kind of a pain. Okay, no, it is on Albert. It was just in front of Dart. That's good. I was going to say I was going to redo this battle off screen and make sure everyone got the experience from it, but thankfully the counter went on the correct person, and we've now finished it off. So we got the Smoke Ball and the Soul Eater. The Soul Eater is a new sword for Dart, of course, and it's going to be a very good one, in fact. But we'll get to that in a little bit. Alright, so that does it. We can check the chests. I don't think there's anything. Oh yeah, the Armor of Yore. I forgot about that. As well as a Panic Bell. So let's go ahead and get into the rewards we got. First, we're going to take a look at the Soul Eater, which should be at the bottom here. There it is. So it's powerful, but HP decays each turn. So this does a whopping increase in attack. As you can see, it's very high. It's like 40 more than the Mind Crush is. You can counteract the HP decaying each turn. Because if we scroll down, you may remember that we did pick up another Therapy Ring. And this will lower the attack because we're losing the attack badge. But the Therapy Ring will basically one-for-one counteract the Soul Eater's decay. So this will let us use the Soul Eater without there being any actual HP loss. So this is basically the build we're going to be going with for Dart for probably quite a while. Because the Soul Eater is a very good weapon. We also picked up the Armor of Yore, which is basically going to go on either Dart or Albert. I think it's going to be Dart. I don't even know if Albert can wear it or not. Unfortunately, the female party members can't wear it, so Meru can't benefit from this. But I will put it on Dart because he's going to be really the only one of us that kind of needs it. Albert's pretty good on health as it is. Alright, and with that, I think we are good to go, so let's head back out to the save point now that we've defeated the first boss to actually take me down once. It's kind of a pain, but oh well, what can you do? So, next time we will continue on to Velweb with Lloyd, and hopefully meet Diaz and just see what exactly it is he's planning with Shauna. Until then, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.